right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Celebrating veterans, how the Bi-State is supporting our nation's heroes on this Veterans Day.
Your neighbors ask that I speak for them and say to you simply, my fellow veterans, this one simple thing. Thank you.
Temperatures awfully chilly this morning. A lot of frost throughout the area, and we'll have one more morning of that. But what we can expect over the next few days and when temperatures will reach near 70 degrees again.
It's known as the symbol of St. Louis. This weekend, the Gateway Arch, the backdrop of a brazen crime. Thieves target a women's college basketball team in town for a tournament.
It was a very emotional day for us. Obviously, none of our kids have been through that. I've never been through it.
Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Right now, police are looking for whoever broke into a basketball team's travel bus. They were visiting from Indiana and stopped to pose for photos by the Arch. Within minutes, their personal items were gone. 5 on your side's Annie Krall has the very latest.
How often do you see basketball opponents wearing almost identical uniforms on the court? Well, when the visiting team has their jerseys stolen out of a van while taking a team picture at the Arch, that's exactly what you're going to see.
St. Louis is a fun time. Like, it's a great city to be a part of. It just sucks that bad things happen.
17 women's basketball players from Anderson University in Indiana were in town for the two-day basketball tournament hosted at Webster University. At around 2 p.m. on Friday, Anderson took these team photos at the Arch. They stopped for no more than 30 minutes. Yet,
one of them had been broken into, and a lot of our stuff was missing. A lot of game jerseys, backpacks with laptops and iPads and iPods and all that kind of stuff was taken.
The police report saying the driver door on one of the vans had been damaged during the break-in between Gateway Arch riverboats and the Arch. Multiple electronics, driver's licenses, a social security card, and a number of basketball jerseys were stolen. Even their shoes were gone. So within a few hours, Webster University jumped into action, finding extra jerseys and kicks from their inventory to try and size the opposing players correctly.
They play fast, they press, they shoot the three, they're well coached, they're young, they're scrappy. So I kind of feel like the way they play is kind of how they handle this situation. They were resilient, and so it kind of shows how they play on the court, how they dealt with this off the court as well.
When it comes to how some collegiate athletes may feel about playing in St. Louis in the future,
I would say just kind of balance that out. And, you know, we work with that all the time with recruits, particularly out of state, that this is a very safe campus and St. Louis is a great city.
Webster beat Anderson with a final score of 101-62. Reporting in Webster Groves, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
And one of the players' relatives found some of the team jerseys in a nearby dumpster. Other players were able to ping their stolen devices to Bell Fountain neighbors. Developing tonight, a St. Louis police officer is recovering after being hurt on duty. It happened just before 3 this afternoon at a home on Darden Drive at the border of St. Louis City and Pine Lawn. Police say the officer was responding to a behavioral health crisis, and that's when someone punched the officer. The officer fell and hit their head. The officer had minor injuries and was taken to Barnes Jewish Hospital. Right now, police are not saying what led up to that incident or if any charges will be filed. A South St. Louis community banding together to prevent crime. Today, the Dutchtown Community Improvement District held its second annual Safety Summit to look at the root causes of crime. They're focusing on expanding cameras to help police identify criminals. Organizers there say it won't stop all crime, but it will help.
We're looking at how we can make ourselves as a community, as a neighborhood, how we can help ourselves be safer and how we can minimize the impact to ourselves and help our neighborhood be safer as a whole.
And she says crime in the Dutchtown neighborhood is actually down this year compared to last. Time now for your weather first forecast. It's a pretty chilly end to Veterans Day. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here. The question is, Gary, how's the rest of the weekend looking?
I still think it looks pretty good. I think we're going to start off almost identical the way we had this morning, where we had a little bit of frost here and there, right? And you know, in fact, it was a pretty hard freeze for most of us, but it warmed up nicely. And as we worked our way back into the 50s, clouds have increased. The good news is we stayed clear through most of the day. Those clouds didn't increase till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And now, wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of sprinkles here and there. Not much really reaching the surface between Gerald and Union, but otherwise temps Right now, still 50 degrees. That's not bad considering we've seen those numbers really fall overnight, 45 in Chesterfield. So where that cloud cover is and slight moisture, it's going to at least keep us steady for a brief period. But things will clear out and we'll drop down to around freezing, if not just below it in many cases. A little warmer in the city with some frost again. But overall, it is going to be much better over the next few days. How high it gets, and while we won't set any records, we're above average over the next few days.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
All day long, a celebration of veterans all across our area. Veterans Day celebrations have happened since 1938, initially to remember veterans of World War I. Well, now all servicemen and women are being recognized for their service. And tonight, we'll take a look at Veterans Day events all across the bi-state. Let's start in downtown St. Louis. From Market Street to the Soldiers Memorial Military Museum, you could watch the city's annual Veterans Day parade. Dozens of veteran groups and local organizations all on hand. And check this out, the Five on Your Side live bus was proud to be there. The parade ended with a ceremony at the memorial, followed by a car show. Closer to home now, veterans getting special recognition in University City. As the city celebrates 100 years since it opened its first parks, leaders are also paying tribute to those who serve our country. 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings reports.
Your country asked, who will stand guard tonight while your neighbors rest? And you answered, I will.
The stars were all aligned on Olive Boulevard in University City for a special salute.
Anybody who has been a veteran or who is in active duty, God love you.
Our nation's heroes receiving honor on top of an honor.
And we have been celebrating our parks for the past year. The committee that put this together decided that the culmination of our celebration should be a celebration of our veterans.
Another centenarian worth celebrating? 100-year-old U-City resident and World War II veteran Ethel Miriam.
1943. I was sworn in on June the 16th, my birthday, my 20th birthday.
Just one more.
And I left 3 days later.
She was a woman accepted for volunteer emergency service and started out as a storekeeper.
I got my degree. My commanding officer at the Reserve Center said, would you like to be an officer? And I said, no, sir. And he said, you're gonna be.
Miriam went through every rank until she made captain.
It was something.
It was something.
It was the smartest thing I ever did to join the service because I got my education.
Veterans Memorial Fountain here in U-City was constructed in 1936, then rededicated to all veterans in 1986. And this year, the community is being reminded again that veterans are here.
Well, some veterans speak about being disrespected when they came home. I experienced being isolated and not really having anybody to talk to who understood my experience.
Today's a chance to remind them they're forever stars. Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
Let's go ahead and take you across the river now in Edwardsville, where the town held a parade of its own. It was led by the Scott Air Force Base Color Guard. Local school bands and scout groups joined veterans on the streets there. And it was all followed by an after party at the American Legion Post 199 on Route 157.